this was the most calculated moment in the history of combat sports. And I'll make the case, and again, come up with an example where you can remember a fighter being this calculated, where Israel actually calculated every single moment before the fight, trained for that moment, executed, and then calculated everything after the fight in a way that I don't believe has ever been done in the history of combat sports, culminating in the greatest moment in combat sports history. So let me make the case real quick. You guys saw the video. He's getting the shit kicked out of him. This is a guy that's beat him 3 times. He's technically 30 pounds heavier. It's basically it's David versus Goliath. He goes against the fence, comes off with a left, right, pops him, and then hits him with a right behind the ear beautifully, knocks him down. He planned that. And there's video of him before the fight planning against the fence to go off the fence and wait for him to drop that hand and come off and play possum. Literally planned that exact moment and that exact exchange in that exact situation. Knocked him out with it. Not only did he knock him out with it, then he uses the arrow pole. So Adesanya uses a 3 arrow pole, 1 for each of the actual losses he's taken, which is what Periera does. So you plan that, okay? You plan the actual knockout.
Let me tell you, much like Pacquiao, Marquez.
I want to hear about, but here's where it gets fucking crazy. You watch him and he's so excited. He's fucking jazzed up. The guy's knocked out. He starts walking around the ring. And then he goes, wait a second. He turns around to mock the child, the 12-year-old child of the person who he just knocked out, because that child had mocked him 6 years earlier as a 5-year-old kid. So here's why I say he's the most well-planned athlete and why this is the greatest moment in sports combat history. He had to know where that kid was when he walked into the arena.
He was already thinking about it.
He was already planning the arrow pole. He had already trained for the KO. We've seen that. He knew where the kid was to get his revenge. And in the middle of the moment, as his adrenaline's hit, because he just pulled off a fucking David and Goliath moment, he does a U-turn to find the fucking kid. Before he went into the ring, he knew where he was, went around and found him specifically, pointed and did the flop. And then after that, went over to the Monster Energy sign, which is the satanic sign. Like it's Monster Energy. He does the sign of the cross, gives it 2 fingers, and then delivers a statesman's speech, pre-planned speech, about how you can achieve anything, and that the moment that he's in right now, hope everybody can achieve it if they do it, as if he were the best politician in fucking history. And the whole thing was planned from the knockout to the speech and everything in between. And I've never seen that before. That is a man who is calculated at a level that nobody I've seen in combat sports gives that much thought to the beginning to the end, including their speech and taking revenge on a fucking 12-year-old kid. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in Carolina.